I move to begin the meeting.
Okay, and then if you take a look at the notes, so we have 2 months worth of notes here. Take a minute to read them through. When you're all done, let me know.
Did some of these while I was waiting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve or second or whatever.
All in favor? Aye. All right, we're good. So, as everybody knows, we had ribbon cutting ceremony, we had Nicole, and we had Mimi, and we had Frank, and we had a lot of people. And
Mark was there, right?
Denmark was there, yeah, he's the only guy who was not thanked in person. But I did send him a thank you note after, and he did come up to me and offer his support in having us do another grant.
Okay.
So when I asked him how big the grants could be, he said up to 125,000, typically about 100.
Okay.
That's what they do. So I think we're in good shape for that because he's very pleased with how the playground turned out. As a matter of fact, looks like everybody was really pleased with how the playground turned.
Susan, could you speak up a little bit?
Oh, sure. And it looks like everybody was pleased with how the playground turned out. There's been a lot of traffic to the playground, and the one issue, the one bump that we're still working out is the signage, because we had decals that were posted and those were promptly peeled off from the zip line and from the swings. So then during the interim of waiting for new signage, which has arrived and been installed today, Bill Bartel got an email from a parent of a 4-year-old who had been playing on the zip line. Now, 4-year-olds are not supposed to be on the zip line. It is a 5 to 12 thing, and she fell off the ramp, not hurt at all. But the parent said, you know, you really need to do something about the zip line. So different people weighed in. We went back to Compton and we asked them whether we were in compliance. They assured us that they were. They provided today the ASTM, this is the standards group for playgrounds, formerly known as the American Society for Testing and Materials. And there were 2 sections about elevated platforms. One says section 7.5.5.1, guardrails or protective barriers are required on elevated surfaces that are greater than 20 inches above the protective surface when intended for use by 2 to 5-year-olds. On elevated surfaces greater than 30 inches above the protective surfacing when intended for use by 5 to 12-year-olds. So we need to do, you know, above surfaces above 30 inches is what we're looking at the moment. And then again, on all elevated wheelchair accessible platforms, except as specified in 7.5.5.2 and 7.5.6.3. Suzanne Sutter went over, she measured the platform for the zip line. It is 36 inches above the mulch. And the section on guardrails says the following, this is 7.5.5.3, the top surface of guardrails shall have a height 29 inches or greater when the elevated surface is for use by 2 through 5-year-olds and 38 inches or greater when for use by 5 through 12-year-olds. She measured the top surface of the lower guardrail, and that's 29 inches above the surface of the platform. And then there's a second guardrail above that one. Since we were told that the zip line is recommended for children 5 and older, and Compton was overnighting a permanent sign stating that this be installed at the zip line, Suzanne Souter wanted to double check that we're in compliance, and it has been approved by Bob from Compton. I forwarded to him, emailed us back. He said, you are very, very, very in compliance. So we're good.
So the sign will say,
The sign does say, I have a picture of it, so I can share that one. The sign does say, that this is for for 5 to 12-year-olds. And it's metal and it is put in with, hardware that is not easy to take out, so hopefully it will last. I'll be writing a letter to the editor, hopefully for publication for tomorrow, just encouraging parents of very young children to keep their children to the parts of the playground that are age appropriate, so that we don't have younger children on the zip line.
okay,
So hopefully the zip line is resolved now and we'll be back in business. Once we hear from the city's attorney, he will do the final okay, and then the lock will come off and the fencing will come away as well.
okay.
Looking at that hopefully for tomorrow. The last thing that I wanted to talk to everybody about today is the playground surface. And I know many people had wanted a rubberized surface and we had gone for the more inexpensive mulch, and also for draining reasons, we went through that for that as well. Mulch is not as ADA compliant as a rubberized surface, and from what I have been alerted at the ribbon cutting, that there are funds out there for
Okay.
this kind, there may be funds out there for this kind of surface. So since mulch is only good for a year,
Right.
pretty much, because or less, because it will be worn down, I'm going to begin to look for an alternative to this, so that on the 1-year anniversary of the mulch, if we have found funding, and if Compton says it's okay to install a different surface after the fact, I'll have to double check with them, then we will hope to migrate to a
Okay.
more rubberized, more wheelchair-friendly surface at that point. If phase 2, which we received a couple of requests about funding, for information during the ribbon cutting, which was kind of exciting, not only DENREC, but also a lead in from one of the foundations. If that goes into play, that ADA ramp right from the beginning, and so that won't require the additional surfacing for people to use. Hopefully that will at least
Can you
give.
say that one more time? I think I
Sure.
remember.
Phase 2
Okay,
has a ramp, and that ramp is ADA
okay,
compliant.
so a new ramp, a ramp like I've never seen.
Right,
Okay,
a ramp like you've never seen.
Okay.
And
I was trying to picture the ramp.
I think I have a picture of the ship stone. But maybe, there we go. That's your ramp over there.
Okay, okay. Oh.
So
okay,
that
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
even need new surfacing, that would just
Just
need,
go straight.
go straight up and you are good to go.
I don't think I'd ever seen this ship one. Wow.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty. So any questions about playground, phase 1, phase 2, zip line?
So the rubberized surface is neither phase 1 nor phase 2. It's its own
It
thing.
would be its own thing, yeah. And it would get money hopefully from a part of the government that focuses just on making ADA compliant grants. Sure.
The only thing I think they may have to do, because I know we're talking about doing this at Head Start this week, they may have to go in and dig underneath a
Okay.
little bit. I don't know that affects, but I know at Head Start, they're doing it with the playground structures that are there.
Oh, are they? Okay, that's.
I
good,
believe,
yeah.
but I'm gonna
If you
follow
could-
up with that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because they're also looking for funding.
Okay.
I'll have to look for funding.
Well, let me know.
But I'm gonna try and find,
That would be great. From what I understand, there has to be crush and run underneath the
Right,
surfacing, so.
right.
That's, something that would have to go in as part of this surfacing phase.
Right.
Any other
In
questions?
respect to the current footprint of the playground, I recall that we needed to check back in with the contractor to completed the walkway.
Mhm.
Because there was a gap in the walkway to the zip line. Seems like we still need to do that, right? That's ongoing.
Yeah, I met with Jeff and met with Rick first, and we planned out where the walkway should go. Then I brought Jeff over to the playground and he saw it as well, and he double marked it so that he knows where everything's supposed to go. And at this point, I just need to follow up with him to find out when that's going to happen. We knew we couldn't get it in place before the ribbon cutting,
Right.
but hopefully it will happen really soon.
Have you gotten any, I do have one email that I have to send you, to someone who might be interested in donating, so I'll get that to you. But have we gotten any new members, new volunteers?
So we did
I
have,
know
actually.
that's far out.
It's a little hard to write on that. Actually, Suzanne and Nerman did a walkabout, over the weekend, and they were in, let me just see where they were. They were in Suzie Park. And there was a woman, Teresa Pullen, who was gonna try to come tonight. She's a paralegal. And she is interested in the playground project. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that if she attends next time, I'll send her
Yeah.
information about it. And there was actually another gentleman who was supposed to come. I had, sent him a calendar invite last month, and updated it for this month, and unfortunately, he's not here either. But, if they show up and are interested in, spearheading or partnering to do these, then the neighborhood parks, then that would be, the next step
Okay.
in that direction as well. But, gotta show up to make it happen.
Sort of a requirement.
Yes. And then the last thing we had just kind of chatted about briefly before is, Mike Platt had been our city council liaison. And the question is, now that he's no longer on city council, do we need one of the city council members? And if so, who should it be? I would think Norman would be the best person
Right.
for that. Makes a lot of sense. But does that have to be official? Does it need to be designated? So I think we're gonna have to figure out.
Because it sounds like we would have to have someone, it seems like.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally think so. So that's all I got.
Good.
Job well done.
Thank
The
you.
kids are seem to be very happy.
Yeah.
I guess that the other comment I would make is that, I was really pleased. And I think this has been mentioned before, but with Rick Delgado and his team, that really that final push at the end to get them mulch. And I know that he's also working on growing grass around the perimeter.
I
It was
wish,
very much appreciated.
I wish everybody had someone as nice as Rick to work with, and
Yeah.
as competent and as quick to react and
Yeah.
respond, and with as good a heart. He
Right.
is tops in
Yeah.
my book.
Yeah.
So, thank you for.
Yeah.
mentioning. All right, so a motion to
I'll move to
adjourn.
Second,
Thank you for coming tonight. All in favor?
Aye. No.
I'm just getting used to this. It's taken a while.
Thank you, Ms. Catherine.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
very much.
Judy, I have a question for you.
Yes.